morning.
Good morning. How are you, Joy?
I'm great. I'm so excited to talk to you. I really enjoyed this film.
Oh,
And
brilliant.
yeah, because I love murder mysteries and I love this whole concept. What excited you about portraying this character in this politically charged time period?
Well, the first thing that drew me is I love the genre. The genre is brilliant, and the fact that I get to time travel is always something that I really enjoy about the work that we do. So to be able to go and explore 1930s Cairo, and to be working at the British Embassy at that time, that to me was what I found really, really neat and really what I wanted to explore. And that was a real huge pull. A huge pull for me to do this was actually being able to time travel into a time that I hadn't worked for before. And so I always like doing new things and exploring in time periods that I haven't done before. And that was one I had never done before. And so, yeah, it was exciting.
Well, I love the fact your character is caught in this space between
Mhm.
culture and loyalty, and bringing that to the screen was important because for me it was so historical. When you were doing your research on the role and the time period and with your background and culture, how did that influence your performance?
Well, to be honest, the main thing I look for is costume, set design, the script, the language, and what, the language already tells you a lot. We like you and I are speaking in a certain way, and that's not the way they spoke in the 1930s. And so that already puts you in a certain space. If you add the costume on top of that, and the little red hat that they wear, I forget the name of it now, but all of these things they really help to transport you into a different space. Then all of a sudden, when you go and you see the cars that exist during that time, you see the sets that were built, all of that helps you immediately and transports you, and you get to time travel with it. So you don't really have to do that much in terms of preparation before that, because if you allow yourself to be affected and you just walk into the space, it all kind of does it for you. And so you just really then, what I do is I just then focus on the person that I'm playing with and take everything that I need from them and from the environment around me.
Well, with your character, he is very much in a place of authority.
Hmm.
He's got his mind set on what he's doing and his work. So to have this person come in and want to invade his space
Yeah.
was very challenging. And I love the way your face did these emotional things where it was like, what? So
Yeah, it's like he's territorial, the security of the embassy is my job. And something happened on in my workplace, and then my boss all of a sudden gets an outsider and does something that I can be doing. And so his nose was put out. And I think on top of that, if you look at the times, a little bit misogynistic during that time, for it to be a woman on top of that, what does she know on top of everything? Like, come on, you can't be telling me how to do this. So I think that frostiness that we encounter in the beginning, but I don't want to give too much away, but the frostiness that we encounter in the beginning, we then get to watch it thaw out and then to kind of team together and go on this journey together is really one of the beautiful things to that, Miranda, Misha and myself were exploring.
and I can see that because there were scenes, again, without giving too much away, where your face did so subtle things that we could see the journey in those expressions that you did, which was really magnificent to watch an actor do that
Oh,
because
thank you.
you drew us in right away. Right away, I was like, okay, how is he going to handle this? I'm like, rooting for him. I'm thinking, oh God, this is not going to go well. So
Well, imagine somebody comes into your space and starts doing your job and, working on your computer and talking to your audience and, all of a sudden, and being better at it. That's another one, being better at it. And at the beginning, he's also still a suspect himself. So there's that on top of that. And so I think that was the fun part and really delving into that and leaning into that and allowing that to come out and playing with it.
I love the little humor. There's a moment where in the desert, and you're like, well, wait, you think just because I'm like this, I'm gonna, know how to ride a camel? I just felt
Yeah.
laughing with that because it was just
Well,
brilliant.
it's assumptions, right? It's like don't just assume because I'm from here that I, ride a camel every single day. Yeah, I think we all had a laugh at that.
How relevant is this story in terms of the tone behind it? where we have loyalty and trust and who can we believe?
I think with trust and is a huge thing, nowadays with fake news and everything that's going on in the world and the power of social media and all the various influences that we have. You don't really know who to trust. And, it used to be a time where it was much more innocent. You turn on the telly, you open the newspaper, and you believe what you see and you believe what you read, and you just take it for granted that, or at least I did took it for granted at the time. Nowadays, you can. It's just like, oh yeah, who's behind that company? Where's this information coming from? What's the agenda? What are they right to the left? Which one is it? And I think a lot has changed. I haven't made my mind up whether good or bad, but it's definitely changed.
What did you learn about yourself doing this particular project? You've done so many things in your career,
Mhm.
but diverse things. But as an actor coming away with this, what did you take away? Whether it's on a personal note or on an acting craft side, what was that for you?
I think from a craft side, it was really interesting to explore the subtleties of like what you were mentioning, just facial responses. You don't necessarily always have to say something, but you can say a lot without saying a single word. So always kind of delving into that and exploring that and going deeper into that. Especially because of a lot of Mahmoud's stuff is reactionary. Something happens, somebody says something, so it's a reaction on his part, and how does he respond to it? And then finding the nuance in that. And I thought that from a craft perspective, that was something that I loved. Just on a human level, it was just nice to be able to go to work at 5 in the morning and you're standing looking at the sun rising behind the pyramids and you're just kind of going, yeah, so this is what I do for a living. Okay, wow, all right. Beautiful day. So that was a big gift. I think one can't take for granted just how lucky we are, the locations and the places that we get to. It really is a privilege. What we do is a privilege. And to be privileged enough to be able to do that and to be able to explore and play. We get to play. It's not serious, it's play. And that is something that I always have to remind myself because it's easy to take yourself too serious and to get too bogged down with stuff. But to remember, this is supposed to be fun. So
Yeah.
go and have fun every day.
And that shot in the desert with the pyramids is so majestic. I just want to go visit now. I
Yes.
really wanted to go and I've had that on my plate. I'm like, okay, now I must go. Absolutely, I must
Yes.
go. Besides this movie being so entertaining, what would you hope that is one thing that we would come away with watching this film? What would that be for you?
Exactly what you just said, wanting to go to Egypt. And I think that, that the entertainment is in the story and it's in the script and it's in what the characters bring to life. But I think a huge component of this movie is Egypt and it's the location. And I hope that when people watch it, that they will have a desire to go and visit because they should. It is a unique place. There's nothing like it all over the planet. So they should go. Mysterious, entertaining, camaraderie.
Yes, indeed.